they do even no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo, my people make you shout. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo.
Hello there.
Good
morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live. Thank you so much for joining me as well, right? Share this broadcast, please. Like the broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them Mayegun don't land. Right? Tag them.
Mayegun diary political. Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun diary.
Yes, you are welcome to the Temple of Truth once again. Just before you settle down, please share the broadcast. The first thing to do, then like the broadcast.
Àní ẹ̀sùn Raki. Mayegun ti dé.
Ó ti dé o.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn Raki. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn Raki. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn Raki. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí
Ebola don't die a natural death. But is it just going to give up or not? Tonight, the journey starts 24 hours before the deadline given to Niger Republic by the ECOWAS, led by Ebola Kolu Tinubu. So today, the northern senators as expected, they shut down his request to invade Niger Republic, his first legislative defeats among many. One weary Lagos Abobaku said, it remained 7 years, 10 months for wailing wailers to wail and cry because of Tinubu. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not the ones who have actually taken your own mouth to the watchman, just tell them too that, oh yeah, that's fine. But it also remained 7 years, 10 months for your suffering too. Koti bere, o sheshen grant as in sheshen roll up ni. Share the broadcast.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Ayé ẹ̀sùn Raki. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Ayé ẹ̀sùn Raki. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn Raki. Ayé ẹ̀sùn Raki. Mayegun ti dé.
Mo ti dé. Good morning to you once again, and good afternoon to you. Also, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun live, the General Overseer of the Temple of Truth. You are welcome again to my sermon, or maybe the TED Talk. Yesterday, we were debating and discussing the letter sent to the National Assembly by Tinubu. Now, you all know the beginning of all this if you have been following it, okay? A week ago, eh, the people called the ECOWAS, they came together and they gave an ultimatum to the coup plotters in Niger, 7 days, or else they were going to attack Niger Republic, take them out, and reinstate the overthrown president. But I've got a few updates for you before we delve into the latest. Guys or brethren, there are other backstories behind this attempted purge that Tinubu wanted to spearhead that you should kind of be aware of. It is very much obvious that France and America are trying to use the West Africans against West Africans, starts their proxy war, which is also linked with Russia. Now, you can put all of that as conspiracy theory, depends on the side of the coin you belong to. But fact is that over the years, French government, they had what they call the French army outside France, domiciled in North Africa. In fact, they are actually operating in North Africa and West Africa, and they are domiciled in Chad. You see, they have at least 3,000 men who are known as the French army. Their job, according to them, was to fight terrorists within the Sahel. Okay, and the cooperation of another 5 African countries was what they were actually like building on. That the reason why they came to, or they are still in Africa. The 5 countries: Mauritania, Burkina Faso, Chad, Niger, and then Mali. Now, these 5 West African countries was the reason why France has been in that place, according to them, until November last year, November 2022. But until then, it was so obvious that it wasn't because of the terrorists per se. It was mainly because of the resources of these combined African countries. And they are mostly Francophone African countries too. Like you have the Anglophone, you have the Francophone. Now, until the end of July, when this school became a thing, you see the guy who happened to be, hang on, before I even get to that. Out of these 5 countries, Burkina Faso don't cut tie with France. Mali cut tie with France. And then Niger now. So Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso are pretty much like West Africa that belong to ECOWAS. Meanwhile, Chad and just like Cameroon, they are part of West Africa, but they didn't belong to ECOWAS. Somehow, after losing 3 of their supposed ally, that's France, and not just losing them, that means they've lost control of their resources that they probably have been in charge of for decades, right? So they had nowhere to run to, not to their own army, 3,000 size army that they have right around those areas, not them, okay? But that would be like a direct sort of, breach of the sovereignty of Niger Republic, and it will kind of become with all the shade of colonialism. This is them coming back and all that. So they looked west, and that's West Africa. And who did they see? A man that has been, that has been spending months, if not years, in an American hospital in France, who has suddenly been rigged in, suffering illegitimacy, being rigged in Nigeria as their president. With all the compromise they probably have on him, it was easier for them to put up the stage that we found ourselves today in Nigeria. And what does that even mean? France have problem with their allies. They've been there, they've been ripping them off for years, okay? And we kind of never was part of that. But you see, towards the end of last year, something happened in the Niger Republic that they didn't really tell you. And what was that? Remember that the military rule that is now spreading kind of in this part of Africa, they have been mostly blamed on the, the abuse of power of the civilians in most of these countries. In some of them, the civilians overthrown there, they've tried to change the constitution of their country so that they can perpetuate themselves in power. Others have they arrested their opposition. You get that? Like, you are going for an election, okay? And then because you are the ruling government, you decided to just frame up your opposition and then jail them just months to election. These are like the kind of abuse of power that are so, apart from the corruption and poverty, sure you get, but this is kind of like power abuse or abuse of power that are so common among these countries, just like what you have in Nigeria, where the institutions that are supposed to conduct credible election got compromised, and the country of 200 million people have been thrown into perpetuity of chaos and confusion. Sure, So that kind of abuse of power, abuse of due process, is considered as the reasons why military are sort of like, gaining power in this part of Africa. So having to use 3,000 French soldiers to invade the Niger Republic would not really go down well with the world. So they choose Nigeria. But before then, Niger Republic, the guy they overthrown, who happened to be Bokwari's friend, they say last year, when they were preparing for election, the same guy, using what I just told you of right now, did not just suspend his own main opposition. Sure you get? He got him arrested and convicted so that he won't participate in the election at all. Even despite all of that, they still rejected him at the poll, right? But, the power of go to court like they were doing to you in Nigeria is what happened though. It's like the whole country just felt like something hits them, like you had in Nigeria, like you currently have in Nigeria. So it's so similar. Rigged election, abuse of power, corruption, poverty, and so much like that are what has been bedeviling Niger Republic. And all this while, Bokwari was there. So they went to go and do the inauguration of the guy that rigged the election. He didn't win, like Tinubu, he didn't win. So the guys who is being using to threaten others, intimidate his own opposition, were the same guys who arrested him, and they declared that civilian rule was over. You see all other things that are now following right now, they have been there, kind of, but somehow, they've been like, oh, is the corruption Niger problem, like you have in Nigeria, it's Nigeria problem, all of that stuff. Interest upon interest. However, the coupists, they are friends with other coupists in Mali and Niger. and Burkina Faso. So it was easier for them to say, listen, if you need any backup, okay, we can talk to Russia. This is the deal that Russia has for us. They are not going to be directly involved in whatever comes out of this. All right? But whatever we need, we're going to get. That's the assurance. And when every time you hear them mentioning Wagner, that's how they came into it. Okay? And that in itself could just be a sort of, what do they call this thing? A sort of, false flag. I think that's what they call it, false flag. Everybody's been talking about Russia. As if to say, the moment Russia doesn't give them anything, that's it. They will just was into Niamey, and then they will just arrest all these guys, and that's it. El Rufai's son was quoted to have said, it will only take Nigeria 11 hours, okay, to take over Niger Republic. Well, that's his own view. Anyway, immediately the news broke that a coup that happened in Niger, how did that trigger the rest of West Africa who didn't feel triggered when the similar coup happened in the last 2-3 years in 4 different countries in the same West Africa? How come that the ECOWAS were not this enraged? And that was what prompted the reactions of people like, no, there is more to it. Everything, you can't be doing everything like you are tout. Of course, Kolu is a thug, a tout, drug lord. And you are not the only person, the only people who know. The rest of Africa knows. So the rest of Africa were shocked when they heard that Nigeria was going to invade Niger Republic because they had coup. Now, it would have made much sense, right? If the coup didn't succeed, okay? Let's say they are unable to, the president, the one they removed, is somewhere hiding, okay? And the coupists, they are claiming to be in control. And that one is saying is in control. Then the country is divided. The supporters of the removed president, they are everywhere protesting and, fighting. The supporters of the military, okay, they are now like clashing. Around that time, you can bring in ECOMOG and they are just there for peace. You're not going to take them and say, we are going to carry out military action like Shea Madini. Do you see the difference of when you make thugs, criminals, your leaders? This is what you get. People who have no thinking faculty. Everything is gra, power. Thug, you have violence. You are not agreeing with us, Abi. You won't agree with us, Abi. I'll kill you if you don't agree. I will shook you. I will, bend down for me. That kind of attitude is not what rule a country. And it seems that Kolu is starting on a very good note to start giving that sign. And there are many around him. I've told you this before. This one is about Niger now. For you in Nigeria who are currently facing their shege in Nigeria, I have told you that just wait for all of their 48 thieves, Ali Baba, Tinubu, and his 40 thieves. Let them settle down. A lot of you will no longer sleep in your houses. You see all this free speech that you are still kind of, they will be hunting you. You will be hearing that somebody got arrested. Hairdresser got arrested. Why? Because she told one senator or she told one minister that she should queue and wait for her turn in a salon. So they've arrested her. They've shut down her shop. You looking at nonsense. Here you get. You will see lawlessness. You will see thuggery. And you will see rogues with power. And you understand what it means. When you say, Mayegun and the rest will cry for 7 years, 10 months. You will suffer. And so Ilorin. Mayegun will report every bit of it for that 7 years, 10 months. If you say it remains 7 years, 10 months, Abi, you are not considering what you see. Just 2 months to see what you are going through, Abi. Don't worry. Thuggery. Like, the rest of Africa were so shocked. Like, on top waiting. What happened to diplomatic way of sorting things? What happened? I mean, you don't go no. I mean, these guys are already celebrating the removal of this guy who rigged the election last year. Sure, you get. It's just like some of you are right now. A lot of you don't want military. But if they are tribunal, meanwhile, have you heard the judgment? They said the judgment for this Peter Obi versus Atiku and all that. Obi, Atiku, and then Tinubu. Now 3 people, they don't write the judgment now for the tribunal. That one go cost Kasala soon, but we will get there. So if their tribunal and their Supreme Courts finally said Tinubu won, despite all of this evidence, Baba, if military can't come, won't some of you just be like, now we get better military? Don't lie to yourself. A lot of you are already saying it is better for military to take over because you know that court cannot remove Tinubu. But do you know what advice I have for you? Even though somehow, if that happens, it is just going to help fulfill the prophecy. I've been a vision of the breakup of Nigeria. Do you understand? Nigeria is more divided than ever before right now. You and I know it. And you prayer warriors, and you unity beggars. A time is coming, you're going to tell yourselves the truth. Nigeria is more divided. You more or less hate yourselves more than ever now. Abi, any military that comes and say, fellow Nigerians, Baba, on a slippery slope, I'll call off one, let me togo. May God spare our life, Abi. Some of you are ready, but you know what advice I have for you? Don't ever pray for military. I know, yeah. You will disagree with me, of course. You're free to. It's fine. But no matter what you are currently witnessing under these rogues, when it turns to military, Babao. Anyway, life is a teacher. The more you live, the more you learn. Sure you get. Rather than you support anything military, it is ideal for everybody to agree that let us come together and discuss these things, how we are going to go our separate ways. Sure you understand? Instead of you to wish for military to come, Baba, I will advise you to wish for what will finally push every one of them to say, oh yeah, let's talk. Let's say this thing not the work. Everybody they go their separate ways. If you let military happen, maybe it's going to be your own life lesson too. And I don't wish that. Upon everything you wish on Nigeria, Shemika tell you, don't ever wish for a military rule in that place again. It will be worse than the jungle. Because that moment, all your rights lost. But anyway, don't take my advice because, I can't really kind of make you do what you don't want to do anyway. So I just thought you should think about that. So, the military finally came, arrested the man they thought was so powerful. Since he's already the president, who is going to touch him? He's a powerful person, right? If you are not okay, go to court. They control the court, they control the military, they control the police. If you try to protest, they will send people to kill you, and they will deny. So that's the same modus operandi. Meanwhile, within their circle, they can tell what they are doing to their country. It's like those currently in charge of Nigeria. Do you think they don't sit down and be able to imagine, to discuss the damages and the ruins they are actually doing to Nigeria? Do you think they don't kind of talk about it? Or do you think they don't know? Right. They do. The military guys will sit down and talk about their situation, the situation of their own family members, situation of their own communities, the young people in their areas, the old people in their areas, the jobless, the working class. They do sit down and discuss. And most of them, like you and I, they have dreams too. They have aspiration too. They want to live in a working environment. They want to be valued too. Human life is of no value with these characters, like for example, in Nigeria. So they know themselves. Just like you discuss in your own office, you discuss in your business place. Everywhere you meet, you discuss about Nigeria. These guys do as well because they are in between. They see everything. Few days ago, when they released that memo, I said, if you ask me, My sixth sense was telling me that somebody within that military released that copy of that memo to the media intentionally so that they will be able to alert those who are currently not paying attention then, especially in northern part of Nigeria, that, listen, you may be seeing them doing meeting, ECOWAS this, ECOWAS that, this guy don't command us so that we should start mobilizing, We are already mobilizing to Sokoto 8,000 soldiers. Here you get. Now, Nigeria, the big brother of Africa. In West Africa, a country, a very big country in size, but in population, a very small country, right? Niger Republic. They had political problems, coup, and civilian what have you. And Nigeria, the big brother for nothing, decided that now war we go fight. Now let me put them side by side, This Nigeria, this giant for nothing, that this APC, Egbekegbe, have made Nigeria to become giant, crippled giant of Africa. Instead of Nigeria to be giant of Africa, Nigeria has become burden of Africa. A problem of political nature happened between political elites in a country next to you. You did not consider the lives of Nigerians who are living there, doing businesses there. You did not consider the lives of Nigerians who are refugees in this country. The first thing that came to your mind was, let us go and attack them. Now, look at this. This is the country that couldn't defeat Boko Haram for 12 years, ladies and gentlemen. Now, look, to show that Nigeria is big brother. See Agbaya country. When you talk about a budget, defense budget of Nigeria and defense budget of Niger, you see them, compare them. Now, if you go to their size of army and the size of the Niger army, you see them. Now, come to the artillery, the weapons that Nigeria have, and the weapons, they don't even get one single aircraft in Niger Republic. Okay? So somebody who is the president of a country like this, Nigeria, and if no be say na agbero, madman, the first thing you will think of is to unleash this size, to go and change government. Something that France choose not to do themselves, even though they can do it. They can stage coup. Sure, you know. Do you see the difference? Somebody who is president of a country, 200 million people, it's like, Nigeria is supposed to be like United States of Africa. Kind of, anyway. I know. Because inside Nigeria alone, there are over 20 countries. 20 countries. If they bring out a knife now, if not because of, if the artificial demarcation boundary drawn by the Europeans, the colonial master, if that is not the artificial boundary between, you will see more than 20 countries in Nigeria. It is a country with over 200 over 200 tribes with over 500 languages. Yes, in that same place. When you begin to divide them small, how many people did Malta? Have you heard about Malta? How many people did there? How many people did Iceland? How many people did Finland? How many people did Luxembourg? Go and check. And in that same Nigeria, you will see, when they begin to cut it, you will still see countries with at least 10 million population, 5 million population that will form their own country with their own space and all of that. That giant of fire, it is like, let me give you another example. This Nigeria, Niger, if not because of somebody will be say they use in own drug. You have been hearing all this why America and Mexico. At least if you are not so conversant with international politics, you go to hear news, the caravan. When they say the caravans are coming, these are people who are coming from all this, this South America, Mexico, Guatemala, all these places, and they will be coming to America like it be like refugee, thousands upon thousands. It became a political conversation in America. Now Donald Trump built the wall. build the wall, build the wall. Remember, now let's assume that for all these years that they have been talking about people coming to illegal alien, illegal, this and that in America. Let's now say America now feels like the government of Mexico is irresponsible. So what they're going to do next is that they're going to attack Mexico to stop all of these people from coming to America. That's the solution. That's it. Now you put America and you put Mexico beside, and you are like, wait, so because of these people crossing to America, so America is preparing to go and launch war. Abba, Kilode. That's exactly the situation between Nigeria and Niger. Are you with me? So people were shocked, like, like this man, the mad in it. It can't like God the ECOWAS here and there. And those ones too. Those ones are following this, what do you call them? They are following this Kolu, Ebola. Yes, they too, they are doing meeting. They call themselves defense chiefs for ECOWAS defense chiefs. Ordinary Boy Scouts. Some of them are like mostly like Boy Scouts. Sure, you get Niger, the total. See, did you see that of Niger? The total number of soldiers in Niger Republic now 10,000. The whole country. Nigeria has 220,000. 130 of them are active. Benin Republic, total soldier of Benin Republic no reach 20,000 for their country. The total soldier for Ghana, I don't know, maybe they reach 40,000. Now, maybe 20,000 too. I mean, even giving you big number. These are the people who are, because Kolu told them that, oh yeah, come behind me. Oh yeah, everybody come behind me. So he's already started the action before notifying his own National Assembly as the law dictates. So what did France have on Kolu? What exactly? You remember that the FBI said they won't release the criminal record of Kolu until 2027. Did you know that? Now, that is not random. They were sued. Yeah, they were sued into a court in the US to open the file of Kolu. And FBI responded by sending their own representatives to the court and said, we are obliged to keep the record sealed until 2027. So is America calling Kolu saying, if you don't do something about this Niger, we're going to release your record, or what? What exactly will make the president of the biggest country in the entire Africa, or the most biggest country, not only, I mean by population, that the president of such country, out of all options, will quickly jump within a week and declare war? It didn't just make an announcement, they have already cut off the electricity of Niger Republic. Sure, you know, before he wrote the National Assembly for approval. Is already cut off their distance. All of you who have businesses in Niger Republic and Nigeria, tell me if this is a lie. If you have not been already been denied, if you have a bank, if you have a bank transaction that is going to a bank in Niger Republic, they no longer go anymore. It's been all cut off. Yes. So those who are trading between the two countries, they've shut the border so nobody passes anymore. Well, you know the borders anyway. So all of these are already in motion. Kolu was expecting the Senate to give him approval today. And by tomorrow, they will attack Niger Republic. Like, who does that? When 2/3 of the Nigerian army is populated by mostly the northerners. Same people who have so much affinity with Niger. Like, who does that? Which kind of person be this? Like a leader of a country. Like, we were watching when France, all of them, America, all of them, they were evacuating their people from Niger Republic because of all of this. You saw I saw a video. All of these expatriates, French, Germans, all of them, British, they were leaving Niger Republic because they felt like something was coming. Kolu did not even, in his letter, he did not even discuss evacuation of Nigerians from the country before they attacked the country. He did not mention it in his letter. He did not mention the lives of Nigerians who are living there, how those who are Nigerians are going to treat those who are Nigerians. Sure, you know, they say anywhere where you go and you know see an Igbo man, Baba, you are advised to go to the next place. Don't stay there. There are those who goes about with their different businesses and all that, and they always make presents in some of these countries. And you'll be wondering, what are they doing there? Why would an Igbo man be in Sudan? I remember when some people were wondering, why, what is an Igbo? I said, are you new? Or are you trying to kind of act, ignorant or something? Yorubas are in Niger. Igbos are in Niger. Ijos and the rest of all these people from all over Nigeria are also in Niger. Because Niger is a country and there is a Nigeria embassy in Niger, which means even officially there are Nigerians. So there is nothing like, I don't even know if you cut ties with them already. They've already cut ties with Nigeria anyway. But like, what's the plan? Do you know why people don't just kind of launch war? There are so many things to consider. I'm just saying. None of this was mentioned. It was pretty much like, we're just going to go there, we're going to remove them, I'm going to finish it. That's it. Like president of a country. Like MC Olueran. Even MC Olueran will still sit down with his team before they go to any war. They will consider all of the risk and everything. Kolu is not, more or less, I don't understand. He just appointed these service chiefs in Abi. Are they not those who are supposed to come and help you save Nigeria from terrorists? So, the implication, even me, we no be politician. The implication is so huge that it could hide behind so many reasons not to even mention attack on Niger Republic. So many reasons. So you want Nigerian soldiers, or you are going to draft Southern soldiers to go and fight and die in Niger. Or I don't understand. Like, who actually made all the plans? And they started moving the military, started moving the Navy, started moving the Air Force. They declared no-fly zone over Niger. That from tomorrow, by the order of Tinubu and ECOWAS, any plane that flies in Niger Republic, Nigeria aircraft, they will shut them down. Like, who does that? 2 months. Waiting France has on him. Like, what do they have on him? Anyway, there is already plan B. But let's start with the reactions. So the northern senators, who we believe that if they give them the choice to decide what should happen, of course they will reject it, right? Their first reaction when Kolu sent the letter. Here.
My dear friends, very good afternoon. I am Senator Suleiman Abdurrahman Kau Sumaila, OFR, PhD, representing Kano South Senatorial District from Kano, spokesman of Northern Senators Forum. I am here this afternoon to address you on some issues, some topical issues to do with representation on behalf of our caucus of Northern Senators Forum. Can I continue? It is irrespective of the going or what is going on with our neighbors, Niger Republic. The title is Northern Senators Forum. As a forum, we condemn, the Northern Senators Forum, or caucus, on test Senate, under the leadership of Abdul Ahmed Ningi, not with the concern and condemn in its entirety the unfortunate development in Niger Republic, where the military possibly upstaged a democratically elected government of President Muhammad Bazoum. The Northern Senators also take cognizance of the effort of ECOWAS leaders under the able chairmanship of our dear President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in resolving the situation in Niger Republic. The emphasis, however, should be focused on political and diplomatic means to restore democratic governance in Niger Republic. We also take exception to use up the military force until all other avenues as mentioned above are exhausted. As a consequence, will be casualty among innocent citizens who go about their daily businesses. Besides, about 7 northern states are share border with Niger, namely Kebbi State, Sokoto State, Zamfara State, Katsina State, Jigawa State, Yobe, and Borno State, respectively. We are also aware of the situation of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Libya, which may affect the 7 northern states, because all these 3 states share border with the Niger Republic. If military force is used, there is serious implication for our country. If military force is used without using all the democratic or diplomatic channel in resolving the cognia. As a Democrat and representative of the people, we are hereby urging our colleague, more especially from the other region, to observe due diligence in invoking Section 5, subsection 4A and B, which gave the National Assembly power to approve the request, or more particular, Senate power to approve the request of Mr. President when we intend to participate or to join any foreign or to engage our military in foreign war. This is our position, and we are urging our colleagues and Nigerians to see reason on using democratic, political, and diplomatic way in reaching out to the military junta of Niger to resolve the issue. Let me re-emphasize that for almost 2 decades, Nigeria is battling insurgency, more especially in Borno, Yobe, and some northern states. And also concerned about the situation of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Libya, where I can say virtually there was no government or recognized government in Libya. If the situation allowed, or if the position of ECOWAS to use military force to force the military to surrender power to the democratic elected president in Niger, it may lead us to another crisis which Nigeria will be at the receiving end. That is the reason why we are pleading with our colleague, pleading with our Nigeria, with the remaining leaders of ECOWAS to see reason in insisting that diplomatic and political approach is the best solution to resolve this cognia. I do submit our position.
Thank you so much.
I am talking as my capacity or at my capacity.
See, first thing first, I want to ask the God that you serve to forgive some of you. Because a lot of you were more interested in his accent, being a tongue, than the message is passing. I was listening to the message and I was seeing a lot of you laughing and all that. God forgive you. Sure you get. So the atotonu, the back and forth of what you heard him say in that conversation, that video, is that their colleagues must reject the approval request of Ebola Tinubu, because the consequences of using military to invade Niger Republic will be dire. It will be so serious. And to start with, 7 states, 7 northern states, which are 7 Sharia states, Abi, that there will be those that will actually feel the shelling. Just as I told you, it's not going to be a one-way ticket. Sure, you get. It is a journey that nobody will kind of see the end or possibly know the end. Loyalty will be tested. A lot of them shouting, Nigeria, Nigeria, our country, our country. Now you're going to say Niger Republic is more important to them than Nigeria. And some of you know that, but now you will confirm it. Because they know that they will feel like the attack on Niger Republic is an attack on northern Nigeria. Remember? So, please don't start. Please, please, please. Don't start. I also heard it too. The gunmen from Libya, Abi subsection Paul. Please don't let us start, please. Let's get serious. I'm serious now, okay? Is kind of saying that this is their position, and if Kolu cares about them, the best thing he will actually be interested in is finding what do you call it? Diplomatic means, peaceful means. You know, the station don't pass me person the beat chest like Aki and Popo and all that, thinking that you just have to. No. That's not how it's gonna be. Oh, make ourselves behave. Oh. And guess what? Just like it was like anti-clockwise. France first. They said that the American president Joe Biden is no longer kind of into using force as an intervention in Niger Republic. Sure, you get like somehow it was like, no, that's like too excessive, and it became too obvious that it was a French war or France war that they want to use as a proxy of NATO versus Russia stuff. Sure, you get. So they said America is no longer feeling like they should use any force. So France insisted that they need to use force, military invasion, or else it's going to embolden them, and that can happen elsewhere, even in Nigeria. That's what the French are saying. Now, they said they are also resorting into plan B. Now, what is ECOWAS saying? ECOWAS is now saying, okay, we didn't mean it that we are going to attack. We are still going to be talking to them. But from Nigeria Senate, where Akpabiole, after that video you saw there yesterday, so they called a meeting, the senators, Northern Caucus, and their final conclusion was that the letter must not even be debated. There's no point in debating. Sure, you get, it must be thrown back to Tinubu. That who did he consult with in northern Nigeria when he decided to mobilize the military and declared that he was going to attack Niger? So the wahala don't happen small right now. The test, the baptismal of fire for Tinubu is already cooking in this Niger Nigeria issue already. So it was in there that they said that Akpabiole was telling them that, listen, you know, he couldn't tell how Tinubu does his things. He can only do his own thing. But they shouldn't make it a big problem, that they should work in a way that when they reject the letter, it's not going to look like, you know what I mean, like they're throwing it out. That would be so kind of suicidal for Tinubu that is battling with legitimacy. So you get that. This is Akpabiole, kind of. So all their anger, all of their rage towards Tinubu, according to report, they unleashed it on Akpabiole. What is all this nonsense? Which kind of, you know, what is all this rubbish? How could he just, you know, like, normal? Finally, they managed to write something for Akpabiole to read and said, you know what? Don't let us use military. Let us use something else. So what happened to the power supply that Tinubu has cut off? What happened to the border? What happened to other things that is already done? What happened to Niger that has already cut ties with Nigeria? Would Tinubu listen to them? Does Tinubu have power to still go to that war? A lot of you who are lawyers, you're going to help me tonight, okay? But according to the Nigerian Senate, they have rejected Tinubu's request to attack Niger Republic. And Akpabiole, help me tell them.
In a closed session, deliberated on issues bordering on the workings of the Senate in particular and the National Assembly in general. And the Senate went further to deliberate on the executive communications sent to us by Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, in respect of the Niger situation. So at the closed session, the Senate considered the contents of the executive communication from Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who also doubles as the chairman of ECOWAS, on his request for support in the implementation of the resolutions of ECOWAS on the political situation in Niger Republic, and resolved as follows. 1. The Senate condemns in totality the military coup that took place recently in the Republic of Niger. 2. The Senate commends President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and other heads of states and governments of ECOWAS for their prompt response and the positions taken on the unfortunate development in Niger Republic. 3. The Senate recognizes the fact that President Tinubu, by virtue of his correspondence, had not asked for approval of the Parliament or approval of this Senate to go to war, as being erroneously suggested in some quarters. Rather, Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief had expressed, and I quote, a wish to respectfully solicit the support of the National Assembly in the successful implementation of the ECOWAS resolutions as outlined in the said communications. The Senate calls on the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as chairman of ECOWAS to further encourage other leaders of the ECOWAS to strengthen the political and diplomatic options and other means with a view to resolving the political impasse in the Niger Republic. The Senate pledges the total support of the Senate and by extension the National Assembly to the ECOWAS leadership under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in resolving the political situation in Niger and returning the country to democratic governance in the nearest future. The leadership of the Senate is mandated to further engage with the President and Commander-in-Chief on behalf of the Senate and the National Assembly on how best to resolve the issues in view of the hitherto existing cordial relationship between Nigerians and Nigerians. Finally, the Senate calls on the ECOWAS Parliament to rise to the occasion by equally condemning this coup and also positing solutions.
You know something? I told you that they had to figure out a way of what and how to present it to the public. First, Akpabiole said Tinubu did not ask for the permission to invade Niger Republic. But in that same breath, he said that they should use diplomatic means including mobilizing international support in returning Niger to civilian rule. When Kolu wrote them, Kolu said he has already started a military exercise at the border in Sokoto, and he was asking that the Senate of Nigeria give him permission to lead the ECOWAS militarily into Niger Republic and reinstate the democratic government in that country. He specifically stated that. He also told them that Nigeria will cut off electricity supply to Niger, cut out financial supply to Niger, cut out, what do you call it? Every relationship with Niger, close the border. He wrote it there clearly. But Akpabiole, that will soon go. Don't be surprised though, if it happened before December, when they will start saying Akpabiole must go, because this is the litmus test for all of them. So he said Tinubu was not asking to declare war, but he's also begging Tinubu that they will work with Tinubu to find to find diplomatic means. So that's the first win of the first legislative defeat of Tinubu. But is he going to listen to them? Is he going to go ahead tomorrow and say, well, it is ECOWAS, it is not him? Would we start hearing the boom, boom, boom in that axis? Maybe not, maybe yes. Here are the pointers that I have picked up. Somehow, because of the tension that this conversation, this issue has generated, and as the countdown was winding down, right? ECOWAS is also having a second thought right now. They are now thinking that the ultimatum is not because they wanted to invade Niger anymore, okay? That the ultimatum is just to let the junta in Niger know that after the ultimatum, every other option is off the table, including if they have to use military invasion. So still the same thing, Abi. So that's what they're now saying. They are saying that the junta must promise them that they are going to return the removed president to power. What they are pretending not to know is this. Things have moved very, very fast. In fact, it's, if you look at this chart, I'm coming on. There's another one I'm going to try and put up. Give me a sec. Now, if you look at this map, you see those red line like that. Those are apart from Sudan, you see those are like the Sahel. You get that? And in Mali is already military. In Burkina Faso is already military. In Niger, of course, military. Chad, military, Abi. Sudan, military. You know, those ones are actually like, fighting right now, that the whole world pretends that maybe that is no longer happening. I'm going to show you something. Now, where is that to? Give me a sec. So when the West Africa, ECOWAS, when they talk about the war that Tinubu was kind of advising or kind of pushing them into. Now, as it is right now, you see where Nigeria is, those who are with Nigeria per se in this, you can say maybe, when you see those blue line, where's the other one? No, one sec. Sorry, I want to go back to that red one. One moment. Yeah, this one. So what you have on the side at the time when the military kind of took over as well, right? Now, these who are in red are the people. And if you look at their size, all combined, right? Of course, they will drown Nigeria and the rest of these West African countries that formed the ECOWAS and all that. But that's not the point. The point is that once they trigger anything within that red line now, it is not going to be a 10-hour war or 10 days war or 10 weeks war. Sure you get? It's going to be a total regional war that can last years. You see that Boko Haram thing, like that guy pointed out before, that Boko Haram thing, I'm going to be like child's play, Jerry, like real thing. You get? And